What's happening, people? Hope you all doing fabulous, guys. It's just 3 minutes before deadline, ladies and gentlemen. I hope I'm live. I just got home right now. Yeah, rather late than never late. So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it's just 3 minutes until deadline. Yeah, I'm just quickly going to share my screen. We're going to discuss everything after deadline. Yeah, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Quickly take you through my team from last week. I got 47 points. Not too much to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. I got a whopping 31 points, as you can see on my title last week. Henderson 6, Mateta 13, Muno 6, and Anderson with a 6-pointer. It was a very, very, very depressing week. As you could see that I had dilemmas last week, whether to bench Ahmad or whether to bench Mateta. And guess what? I benched the penalty taker, so I think I deserve that. Yeah, I actually deserve that, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, these points are very disappointing, but yeah, it is what it is. There's not much to talk about since, as I've said, there's only 2 minutes, a minute now. I'm just quickly gonna check my team and see if everything is in order. I'm not gonna make any transfer this week, ladies and gentlemen. My team is Henderson, as you can see, Gabriel, Hall, Konate, Palmer, Salah, Bruno, Gordon, and my forward line of Mateta, Wood, and Alexander Isak. That is my front three. On the bench, I have Pickford, Ahmad, Munoz, and Anderson. I know absolutely nothing about early team news. Ladies and gentlemen, as I've said, I've been out. I've literally just got home right now and I hurried to the chair. And yeah, at least take out something there, stick with the consistency. Then yeah, we can discuss everything beyond the deadline today. I'm just gonna quickly check on Twitter, not to say it's gonna make any difference because time is already up by now. Yeah, so it is actually half past. My captain is Salah this week. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Remember that next week or after this deadline, we are now into Gameweek 24, where we have a new chip in FPL that we've never used or tried before, which is the assistant manager chip that most people actually call the S-Man chip. Those are the abbreviation for assistant and manager. People call it S-Man, believe it or not. Yeah. So yeah, it is past deadline now. So there's nothing that one can do in terms of transfer. I'm happy with my team. My only dilemma was actually who to play between Gabriel and Munoz. I wanted to play Munoz, but I've seen that benching a big hitter can punish you. So just like last week, I had a dilemma there, but hopefully Munoz doesn't punish my Gabriel decision that much. So yeah, guys, man. So since it is past deadline, we can actually go back and look at what actually transpired last week, guys. Game week 21. Yes. What an absolute disaster, guys. Absolute disaster, one can say. Jordan Pickford, you can see 2 points are there. And the plan was always to play Henderson, guys. I kid you not. But as soon as I sold Oli Watkins, I was like, okay, I didn't want to play Watkins and play Pickford against Aston Villa. So I was like, let me actually play Pickford now. And Spurs had a lot of injuries. So I was hoping that maybe Spurs won't get anything there. They didn't, but they eventually scored like 2 consolation goals. Who did they actually play last week, guys? My head is all over the place. Let's just come here to see. Okay, yeah, 2-2. They drew 2-2. So that was the 1-pointer. As then I have Lewis Hall, yeah, which was actually a disastrous game for Newcastle. No one saw that coming. As much as I've been giving Bournemouth praise, I'll be the first to admit that I never saw a 4-1 coming, especially at St. James's Park. Like, yeah, I could not believe that. And then Ibu Kunate, he was one of my transfer. He was my only transfer last week, actually, 6-pointer. So he comes straight into the team and he did deliver. Good news for us Kunate owners. He did not play in the Champions League. He did mention that he's still playing through a pain barrier, but I don't think it will keep him out of this one. So I expect Kunate to play. Then midfield Palmer went into the game as yellow flagged. I knew that he would play, but when after the Mateta 13-pointer and Palmer had that game on Monday, I was just hoping that please Palmer, can you somehow not make it into the game on Monday? Then I would have gotten the 13 points as the auto sub. But yeah, guess what? Palmer played, Enzo didn't play, Caldwell didn't play. So if you had those two, at least if you had a first sub, your auto sub was good. Salah captain, he blanked. Liverpool created a lot of chances, but they didn't fall for Mo Salah. So yeah, I don't begrudge the 3 points we got last week. Bruno penalties, that's why he's there in the team. Like, he's a penalty taker. That's why I like penalty takers, because they don't need to play well to return. He just got the penalty there. Gordon, disappointment there. He actually had 2 chances cleared off the line, from what I remember, because I did watch that game against Bournemouth. Sorry, guys, I think there's this thing on my camera. But yeah, I think it's better, And then Ahmad, 2 points. Yeah, United disappointing again. But I did predict the 3-1. I'm not gonna be proud of that, but I think even anybody could have predicted that, man. Like, it did look like that result was coming. Then in the attacking, Christopher Wood comes in, man. The man's a legend. First week into second, but the first week I didn't play him against Liverpool. He got the 9-pointer. Now it's a 12-pointer. So yeah, I'm actually happy with that. Then Alexander Isak, his points don't really matter, so I didn't care if he got 2 points or 20 points. I was not going to get anything from that. Then on the bench, whipping 31 points, guys. Like, yes, can you see this? 31 points. Let me zoom in so that you guys can see, guys. 31 points. I got 47 in total and 31 on the bench. Dean Anderson clean sheet as well as Munoz clean sheet. Anderson against Leicester, good fixture. But who was I going to play him for? My only regret is Mateta. The others, yeah, those things happen. But the Mateta one, not only have I benched a 13-pointer, I've benched a talisman, someone who takes penalties, guys. I've been preaching that I choose mainly penalty takers. Because if, let's come into my team. If you could, my team here, I choose penalty takers because they don't need to play well, guys. They just don't need to play well for them to return a whole lot of points, guys. So that's why I chose them. As you can see here, I've shut the wrong screen, guys. Give me a second. I literally haven't prepared anything. I just got in here, sat down, started streaming. We'll take it from there, guys. Like, yo, been a long, long day. One can say it's been an absolutely long day. And then, okay, let's see. Jeez, why is it sharing the same screen? Sharing the correct one now. Finally. There we go. Yeah, Henderson in goal against Brentford. Gabriel, I mean, Wolves have conceded the most goals from set pieces alongside Man United. So surely Gabriel gets a goal. If he's due one of those 15 pointers, hopefully this is the week. Lewis Hall in the team as well. Kunate as well in the team. Yeah, he's going to be there. I don't have Trent. I think Trent is the better pick. If you have, if you want a Liverpool defender, I don't think you can look past Trent. But for me, he is 2.2 more than 2.2 million more than Kunate. So for me, I think I will use the money elsewhere. That's why I chose Kunate. I don't think he's he's a better pick whatsoever. But for me, I think that's where, because if you can look at my forward line, that's where I used. I basically don't have a cheap forward, so I can't afford to also have Trent unless I sacrifice one of my midfielders, which I don't want to sacrifice. Then Parma against City, who don't City. Pep did mention that they have one fit centre back. I don't understand what he means, because he literally just bought two centre backs, right? The guy from Brazil and the guy from, I don't know, is it Afghanistan or something like that? Like they've two center backs. So like I don't know is what he's trying to get at. I simply don't know. But yeah. And then Mo Salah, captain. For me, it was never in doubt. It was always gonna be Mo Salah. And then Anthony Gordon, Southampton, is always gonna play. So is Bruno on penalties. So if you look here, I actually have, of my 7 attackers, I have 6 penalty takers. The only person who's not a penalty taker is Gordon. So each one of these 6 teams get a penalty. That's almost 3 points. Of course, it can turn and he can miss the penalty, and that's a -2 points. But you never know. Like, as we've seen in the past 2 weeks, there's been a spike in penalties. So I'm going to take my chances in that. So in the long term, I don't see myself benching those 6 guys until next week, because next week Mateta is away to United. I will have a dilemma. Who should I play? Ahmad at home or Mateta at home? I mean, away to United. I think I'll play Mateta. He's on penalties. He's the talisman. And yeah, I think he's just like the guy that I should be playing. But we'll see. That's next week. Remember that next week, double game week, guys. Triple captain, assistant manager can be active. So yeah, even if you go to where you select your team, you make transfers, you will notice that at the bottom or on the second page of your team, the managers have been added this week alongside the prices. We've already known that, but we haven't seen them being added until I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. Then, yeah, I have Mateta, Wood, and Isak. I'm happy with that front 3. I have 2 Liverpool players, right? They have a double game week next week. I will have 3. But with the 2 free transfers, it allows me, either I can get slot if I feel like that's the way, but I think that's the least route that I will take. Or I play my triple captain, which I think if you have your triple captain, for me, if you ask me, next week is the perfect time to play triple captain. Mo Salah, highest point scorer this season. He's been a talisman and he's been so important. He's nearly not blanked almost every week. Like, he's been getting a whole lot of points. I know in his past 2 games, he's actually blanked, but before that, he's been in a terrific streak. So yeah, for me, I think if you have triple captain, if you had to ask me, I think you use it next week. Don't overthink it. We do not have as many double game weeks as years gone by. Remember that. Not only as many, but also we don't have, like, those double game week won't be massive unless if it's game week. I think it's 33, right? No, game week 36, because game week 34 will be a quarterfinal FA Cup, right? So that's when it depends. If there's a lot of big teams in those quarterfinals, then we can have a lot of blanks. But for now, only confirmed double we know is Liverpool next week. That is confirmed because also Liverpool have made the top 8 in the Champions League, so they will have those first 2 weeks of February as free. In my bench, yeah, like, hopefully this week my bench does bad, man. Because yeah, Pickford, Ahmad, Munoz, I didn't want to bench, guys. My plan was to bench Gabriel, but I got cold feet after I fumbled benching Mateta, like a big guy or like a big player for that team. So I don't want to bench Gabriel and he scores a header today. I will be so mad at myself. So I just don't want to take that thing, man. Like, honestly. Then Anderson, yeah, he's my 15th player, one can say. So not a lot to talk about from his perspective. 3 minutes until all the team news are out, so we can start going through the fixtures. And yeah, hopefully by the time I'm done, we'll be able to refresh the fantasy page. Then we can actually see if it's any different because what the managers added. So yeah, let's wait and see. First games, yeah, we actually have 5 games at 5 o'clock. So yeah, it's gonna be a nice 5 o'clock kickoff fixtures, goal rush from our side on Super Sports. So I think I'll be watching that. I don't even know what the main game is. I think the main game will be Arsenal. Of course, it will be Arsenal because that's the one. Let's see on goal rush. I'm checking on my phone briefly. Yeah, the goal rush will be no, it's Liverpool actually. Liverpool will be the main game for us. So yeah, Bournemouth versus Forest. I think these are the two surprise teams of the season, man. Like Forest are playing very well. Bournemouth, though, mate. Like I've been impressed by Andani Riola and what he's done, guys. Like ever since he got to Bournemouth last year, I think he never won a game in his first 10 games. And then somehow he was kept in the job after he got a lot of criticism. And yeah, he's done a terrific job under Riola. So yeah, man, because they are missing a number 9. They don't have a focal point now. Remember, they are missing Evan Nelson and Unals, the Turkish striker. I know they called back Daniel Jefferson, but yeah, he's a championship quality striker. So with what he has right now, I think they have like over 10 injuries as well, man. Like 10 injuries from the top of my head. People who are missing, Marcos Senesi is missing. Who else is missing? Adam Smith is missing. In midfield, they have Alex Scott missing. They have Marcus Tavernier missing up front, Evan Nelson, Unals, Sinesteria. Is it Sinesteria? I forgot his name, man. Like, yeah, Luis Sinesteria, the guy from Leeds. He hasn't been playing a lot. That's why his name completely just blanked from me. So yeah, I just like the way they play, man. They can not only defend the job. He is unstable. I'm getting a warning that my network is unstable, but looks like it is gone again. Let me see if I'm still live. Ish. Okay, we good. We good. We good. We good. Ooh. I'm actually. Why does it look like you guys don't see my screen? I thought you guys. You've been just looking at me, guys. Hey. Okay, there we go. There we go. Yeah, okay, but it's 3:45 nonetheless, so we can actually just go to Twitter and see the team news while we are at it. Ooh. Let's start with Liverpool. I'm gonna share my other page for Twitter to see all the team news. So there's 5 fixtures, so I'm gonna have to go through 10 teams. So with me, beautiful people, bear with Mandem. First team Liverpool. I expect Salah and Konate to be playing, so hopefully for my sake they are playing, guys. Imagine if Salah's bench. Okay, Salah's there, Konate's there. All right. Team news for Liverpool. Geez, do you need these websites? Let me just go back once because wow. Okay, Alisson, Van Dijk, Konate, those are the center halves. Then they have Robertson and Trent as the fullbacks. In midfield, they have Soboslai, Alexis McAllister, and Ryan Gravenberch. Front four line of Gakpo, Luis Diaz and Mohamed Salah. On the bench, they have Ronald Gallagher, Endo Nunez, Chiesa, Elliot, Tsimikas, Tens, Kwanzaa, and Connor Bradley. Yeah, I think it's what we expect. If I am 0.1 of getting Diaz, guys, so I have 2 free transfers. If somehow Anthony Gordon does well today, that's the one player I want to do well. If he does well, I think he's going to get a price rise. I'm going to bring in Diaz straight away. For me, if you ask me, Gakpo is the better pick. But with my front three, I don't see anyone I can sell Gakpo for. Isak, no. Wood, no. And Mateta. I like Mateta. He's a differential for me, guys. So I want to stick with Mateta for the time being. So who are they playing? They have Ipswich. Let's go to the Ipswich Town page and see the team news. I don't think a lot of people have Ipswich Town players, so this can be a quick glance over there. If the page actually allows. Jeez. All right, I don't think I can open it. Okay, there we go. They have Walton in goal. So, okay, Walton is in ahead of Muric. Then they have Ross Benz, I think. They have Axel Twanzebe. Then Dara O'Shea. Then Jacob Greaves. Leaf Davis. Then they have Mossy. Then they have Phillips. Remember, Phillips missed the previous game because that's his parent club. Then they actually have a very decent attacking front three: Omari Hutchinson with Jaden Philligan, then spearheaded by Liam Delap. I wanted to say Rory Delap, guys. It just shows my age, right? If you know Liam Delap, the guy from Stoke City. Yeah, Premier League vintage, man. Take me back there. His son is already playing here. Just imagine. That's Ipswich lineup. Murich, Johnson, Ben Godfrey, Townsend, Luongo, Taylor, Broadhead, Inciso. Oh, they bought Inciso, ladies and gentlemen. Remember that. They bought Julio Inciso. Then they have Hest. I think Hest is back from injury, so that's good news for them. Then second fixture of the day, we can go to the Arsenal. I just want to see Gabriel in the team from my fantasy perspective. I think there's okay. Saliba returns, so Saliba's back. Gabriel is the skipper. Does that mean Trossard does not? I mean, Odegaard is not in the team. Okay, Trossard on the wing. Let's see. Odegaard is not in the team, guys. Jeez. Okay, they have Raya, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Luis Kelly. I think that back four is nearby first choice, maybe Saliba. Then in midfield, Partey and Rice. Then they have Nwaneri. At least Nwaneri, for their sake, is playing 10. They've been wanting him to play there, so he gets his chance. Then Trossard will be playing, I think, on the left wing. Then on the right wing will be Martinelli, spearheaded by Carl Havertz. Then they have Neto, Potter, Kivio, Califury, Tierney, Zinchenko, Jorginho, Sterling, and Butler, Oidei. That's the Arsenal team news. I don't think there's a lot of people who are like affected by those team news. I think everyone's players are there, unless if you have Odegaard, he's completely not in the team. Then Wolves don't make no change from Monday night, they say, but at least Totti for them is back on the bench, so that's good news for them. Then the team news is Jose Sarr, Nelson Semedo, Matt Doherty, Santiago Bueno, Agbodo. Then they have Ryan Nuri, João Gomez, Andre, Pablo Sarabia. Then the forward line is Matthias Cunha and Jorgen Strand Larsen. Decent team there for Wolves, because on the bench they have Johnson, Juan Hichan, Craig Dawson, Gomez, Doyle, Totti, Belgrade, then Guedes and Lima. Decent team for them. I don't think they're missing a whole lot of players there, Wolves. So yeah, they should give Arsenal at least a game. Newcastle, I have 3 Newcastle players: Gordon, Isak, Hall. I want to see all three play, guys. Please. Let's start with Newcastle team. I see they retweeted the Southampton team. Yes, my players are in. Nick Pope, I can see, is back on the bench. So they got Dubravka. I think this is gonna be his last game, surely, because Nick Pope is their first choice. And then they have Fabian Shah is back in the team. Remember last week it was Botman and Shah, but now Sven Botman is back on the bench. So it's the same team from last week, except that change that I've just mentioned. It will be Shah and Ben in defense, then Livramento and Luis Hall as fullbacks. Then in midfield, it's that midfield three of Jolinton, Alexander Tonali, Bruno Guimaraes, then front three of Isak, as well as Jacob Murphy and Anthony Gordon. Then substitutes, they have Nick Pope, Trippier, Botsman, Asuola, Miguel Almiron. I thought this Miguel is leaving for, I think, Charlotte in the US. Maybe he hasn't left yet. And then they got Martin Kelly, Joe Willock, Sean Longstaff, and Louis Miley. They have everyone fit except Wilson. So they are in a good place, except the fact that they got spanked for 4 last week. I, for one, did not see Newcastle losing that game with that scoreline. It's funny, right? Then they got McCarthy, this Southampton, by the way, Kyle Walker-Peters, Bree Bednarek, Howard Bellis. Howard Bellis is the son-in-law of the great Manchester United captain, possibly the greatest captain in the Premier League history, Roy Keane. Then they got Manning, Wesley Okuchukwu, Joe Ribbo. Then they got Fernandez, Armstrong, and Onachu. I mean, Southampton, man, they played well against United, but you can't judge them off that, man. The game before that, they conceded 5 to Brentford. Oh, so imagine if Newcastle win 5-0, the amount of fantasy points that one will get will be absolutely sensational. I'll take that, honestly. 5-0 Newcastle, 3 assists from Lewis Hall, 2 goals from Gordon, 3 goals from Isak. And I'm laughing all my way to with a green arrow. Because even last week, once Newcastle lost 4-1, the game week was bad because a lot of people have Newcastle players. So yeah, but I think this is the money fixture. I think this is where we're going to get our points. Then Southampton bench, they have Lamley, Soguara, Wood, Bella Kocha. Oh my days. Oh my days. At one time, I actually did rate Bella Kocha, man. I was like, why isn't United buying Bella Kocha? I saw him play at the game of his life. I don't remember against who. But yeah, man, this is football. Like, just one game doesn't define a player. It teaches me that we always learn something new about football, man. Even though we've watched it for like more years than one can possibly count. But yeah, that's the beauty of the game. And then they have also Adam Lallana, Will Smallbone, Ryan Fraser, and Geoffrey Archer. That's Southampton. I don't think a lot of people in here have Southampton coverage. So yeah, we can just conclude there with Southampton. Which other fixtures am I left with? Just okay, Brighton versus Everton. Brighton and Hove Albion. Yeah, you can see that guy, João Pedro. Like João Pedro, by the way, guys. This guy, yes, he's a good footballer, but the way he dives around, man, against United, man. He spent time so much on the ground there, man. Like, I hate that, honestly. Okay, they got Bert Verbruggen. Tarek Lemty's back in the team. Then Lewis Dunk captains the team. He'll be partnering Van Hecker and Veldman. It'll be interesting to see who plays left back, right? Because it doesn't look like their left back is not there. Pelvis Estupinian. So it's possibly Lemty going to left back. They'll have midfield of Ayari, Paleiba, then front three behind the number 9 of Danny Welbeck, it will be Gruya, João Pedro, and Mitoma. That's the three behind Danny Welbeck. I think that's good for them. Danny Welbeck has been superb. It's not a coincidence that whenever he got injured, Brighton's form just changed, man. As good as you would want João Pedro to be the number 9, I think he's good as a 10 because he's just good with that focal point up front. So I think that's good for them. Then in goal, I don't think Still had a surgery. I think I saw somewhere where Still is out. So now they have Rushworth. Then they have Adam Wester, Matt O'Reilly, Simone Adingra, Georgina Rute. Then they have Minter, Gomez, Hanselwood. Okay, he's back as well. Then they have McConville. Where the hell is Evan Ferguson? He's also looking like he's injury prone, guys. Yes, these players. It just goes to show that we shouldn't be hyping all these players by just seeing a couple of good performances or even a season. We need a longer period of data to know if these players are actually good or not. Then Everton Football Club team news. You got James Tarkowski there, but in goal they have Pickford. I didn't play him today. Then center half of Tarkowski and Brandthwaite. Then right back of O'Brien, I think, along with Mekelenko as the left back. Mangala, Ghana, and Limstrom's midfield. Then the front three of the Decore, Ndia, and Calvert-Lewin. I didn't watch the game against Spurs, but from what I've seen, I think they were playing a back three, so it looked like it will be O'Brien, Tarkowski, and Brandthwaite as the back three. Then wing back will be Mikalenko with Lundstrom. Then midfield, I think, will be Mangala, Ghana, then Decore with the front two of Calvert-Lewin and Ndai. But I don't know. I never watched the game against Spurs last week. Then in goal, they have Virginia, Begovic, Peterson, Keane, Harrison, Beto Young. James Garner's also back, and Armstrong for them. Looking good for Everton. But one disappointing news is that what's the guy? The left-footed guy, O'Neill. Yeah, what's his name? The guy who kicks with the left foot. He's injured, man, from Everton. McNeil. Yeah, he's out, guys. I think David Moyes did mention that he might need surgery. Then last bit of team news. Which am I missing? Okay, Bournemouth against Nottingham Forest. Yeah, Areola did mention the only player has a chance of coming back. I think it is what's his name? Tavernier is the only guy who has a chance of returning. As for their team news, okay, yeah, there is, speak of the devil, Marcus Tavernier's back for Bournemouth. At least that's one player back for them. They've been absolutely decimated with injuries this season, but they're doing well. So it goes to show, as much as I'm one to tell people that injuries do affect teams, a team like Bournemouth has a lot of injuries and nobody's covering them. They have possibly as many injuries as Tottenham. Okay, they are lucky that that 11, that core 11 is still there. I think 7 to 8 of their first team players are there. So yeah, at least for them, it's looking a bit better. Because if you can see that bench, the only players played in the Premier League is Tavernier, then Jefferson here and there. The others, I don't know. Scott Dewberry, Adu Ajay, Akimboni, Winterburn, Kingsley, Rhys Doughton. I know none of these people, guys. Absolutely none of these guys. But their team, Kepa Arrizabalaga, Huijsen, they sold Juventus, man. They sold this guy, I don't know for how much, but for pennies, less than 10 million, I believe. And now he's wanted by, like, he's Dean Huijsen. He's been brilliant, guys. 19 years of age. Like, Juventus now are looking for a center half, guys. And they sold this guy to Bournemouth for pennies. One also who's wanted is Kekesh. I think Kekesh is been looked by a lot of teams. I think Liverpool or United, so one of those teams will go for this guy. I am so sure of that. Lewis Cook is there, Brooks Christie, Dango Otaro, then Tyler Adams, good to have him back as well. Clivet, Simeng, and Zabani. I think that's the same team as last week. In the future, it will catch up with them, guys. I don't think they can go many weeks with this team. But and Ariola did mention that a lot of players are nearing returns. They've started individual training, so expect a couple more next week to be back for the Cherries. Then the last team we'll look at is the team from All City Ground, which is Forest. I want to know that Forest song, guys. I love it. All City Ground, na, 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 na. Oh City Ground, oh City Ground. Like, guys, I suffer well to go to a Premier League game with an honest atmosphere, guys. It will be, jeez, I live to see the day I'm there. Metzel's in goal, Murillo, Williams will be the left back. Anderson, guys. Speaking of Anderson, Newcastle sold Anderson because of PR things, like 35 million, right? This is like similar to what United are trying to do with Garnacho. Apparently, if you sell your PSR player, you can spend at least 3 times more than what you sold that player for. So if we can sell Garnacho for like 50 million, it will open up PSR for us to spend 150 in the future. So that signing of Elliot Anderson, man, he's been absolutely sensational in the midfield, mate. He's playing like, I don't want to compare him to anybody, but he dribble past people. He's just playing. He's at that form of his life. He's been brilliant, guys. Absolutely sensational. Then you got Morgan Gibbs White, Christopher Wood, Jota Silva. So who's on the bench or who's not playing? Oh, Callum Hudson-Odoi. Yeah, Jota Silva comes in for Callum Hudson-Odoi. Yeah. Then Elanga, Aaron Yates, Milenkovic, and Aina. Yeah, I don't know how they will fare without Hudson-Odoi on the left, but this is a good opportunity for Jota Silva to grab it. Then on the bench they have Miguel, Morato, Owoni, Toffolo, Domingos, Ward-Prowse, Moreno, Sousa, and Willie Ole. Man like Big Willie, you know. That's it, guys, for the team news. I can quickly go through predictions. I won't waste your time by waffling, as one did mention on my comments the other time. Not sure if you're watching this time. If you're watching, feel free to just holler me in the chat. I respond, guys. Just hit that comment there, and just holler at the OG fam. You know them ones there. Yeah, hit up the OG. Come on, Brent. Come on with it. Yeah, but that's it for the team news. Let me see if I can quickly go through predictions. I won't go through each team and speak about how they played. Yeah, I don't think it will be. The games would have started by then, guys. The games will have started by then, honestly. On the other hand, the FPL is still updating. FPL is still updating on the other hand. Okay, then... Oh, man, I keep on sharing the wrong screen. Mandem keeps on sharing the wrong one. Okay, as we've seen the teams, my predictions will be at least more in relation to what I think will happen with the teams that I've seen. Bournemouth versus Nottingham. I worry for Bournemouth bench, as good as they've been. If 1 or 2 players go down, now they'll be scratching the barrel. But Forest defend well. When I watched them against Wolves, I actually thought they didn't play pretty well. And they conceded a lot of chances, but they defend those chances Like they throw their bodies on the line, but sometimes a lot of teams are gonna score. Like one team is gonna score a lot of goals. They won't defend those as well as I've done. But with Bournemouth as well, they've drew like home fixtures. I think they drew to Palace 0-0, right? So this is why these teams, as I've said, are not challenging for the league or possibly to top four. Because when they play each other, you can't predict, man. It can easily be 2-0 Forest or 2-0 Bournemouth. But I will just sit on the fence with this one. I'll say 1-1. Brighton, Everton. Brighton didn't play pretty well against us, but you don't need to play well to beat us. And Everton against Spurs. Spurs are decimated with injuries as well. New manager bounce. There were 3-0 in next to no time. And yeah, that once a game is 3-0, that's all she wrote, guys. Like honestly, that is all she wrote because it's nearby impossible to come from 3 goals down, especially with the amount of injuries that Tottenham have on the other hand. So yeah. Then predictions, I will say 1-1 as well. I think David Moyes can come back himself to a draw there at least, get something. As much as Brighton beat us 3-1, they don't wow me. But Danny Welbeck is there. And when he's there, they win matches and they play very, very well because they have the talisman or focal man up there. Someone you can throw the ball to, and then they can hold it up, and then they can bring the team back in. They can bring people into play. So predictions 1-1. Liverpool, Ipswich. These games normally don't go as much as well as we expect. Remember, Liverpool played Leicester, it was 3-1. Like they are not as plain sailing as you think, man. So I think Ipswich will score. I think Liverpool will win comfortably, but I think it's going to be like a 3-1. 3-1 Liverpool. Southampton, Newcastle. Southampton are actually playing well. They play well against United. They lost to Forest away, which is no shame, but they still showed some resolution by getting the 2 goals. So I think they can give Newcastle a game, at least for the first half. I think then second half, that's where the game can open up and they can concede a whole lot of goals. So I think it's gonna be 3-2. 3-2 Newcastle. Then you got Wolverhampton Wanderers against the Arsenal. Yeah, without Odegaard, he's been bad, to be fair, man. Like, let's not sugarcoat this. Like, I'm quick to be criticizing people like Bruno and the likes. Even Odegaard's been stinking out the gaff, man. Let's be honest. He came back, he played through adrenaline, he was great first 2-3 games. But after that, he's been absolutely awful, man. Like, let's be honest, he's been poor. So we can't say they will miss him with the form he showed. But he's still their captain. He's still their captain, and without Saka, he's possibly their talisman. So he's still a miss. But Arsenal said peace again, ole, ole. Yeah, they are just like Man United. I'll be shocked if Arsenal don't score from a corner or a free kick because Wolves are as bad as Manchester United from those. Not bad as, but just nearby. Nearby as bad as Man United in defending set pieces. So I can see Arsenal scoring a set piece or two. I'll say 2-1 to the Arsenal. Then the late fixture, I mean, City don't excite me. I don't remember the last time I watched City play football, possibly against Man United. That's the last time I watched City play football. I don't watch them anymore, man. Like, they're a meh team, man. An absolutely meh of a team. Rodri FC, they spent over 100 and something million. Yeah, but this is how they go again, right? Because you don't know all these players, but after 2-3 months, we'll be like saying, hey, Mamouche. But yeah, they haven't been getting them right as they had in the past. I mean, your likes of Doku, Grealish, like they leave a lot to desire. As much as they've won big trophies, but they've not been big players for them. They've not been value for their money. City fans will tell you Grealish has been, he won the treble, but has he? He's won free kicks, man. Like, let's be honest. I once called him generational talent back at Villa. He was absolutely sensational as well, but he's a shadow of the player he is. The tacticos will say it's the system and whatnot. But yeah, it is what it is. I don't know. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a fun game because both teams can defend. So I don't think it will be short of goals there. I actually see Chelsea winning this. I'll say Chelsea win this 3-1. Yeah, I think that's my surprise prediction for the day. Then Sunday fixtures: Crystal Palace versus Brentford. Palace won 3 of their last 4. Decent fixtures, decent form. Team is nearby first choice. Okay, now they lost Radi Chadley. They lost Decore in midfield as well. So that can, yeah, it can disturb their team. But I still think in midfield they have Jefferson Lerma as well as Will Hughes. So I think that's good enough to to sustain the form they're in at the moment. So yeah, at home, Mateta Ezesa playing very well as well. Munoz, he's due the goal. He's possibly going to score now that he's on my bench. That's how it works with me. It always does work like that. But yeah, it means that at least I have those players, right? At least I have those players. Then Brentford, they also have players coming back from injury. Christopher Aya, at least is back for them. The back line is becoming stronger. Rico Henry's been back for a couple of games. They always got goals in the team with Mbumo and Joanna Visa. So you back them to score. I back them to score tomorrow. I actually say it's going to be a draw when I'm going to say it's going to be 2-2. Tottenham, Leicester. I think with Tottenham, yeah, at least now players for them are coming one in, one out. They are going through one of those. We went through that last season. You're gonna say, oh, in 4 weeks' time, you're gonna have everyone back. For every player you have back, the other goes. Solanke's out. They had Ben Davies coming back. Romero's coming back after this week, and Van de Ven. So now their forward line needs strengthening as well. So it's just gonna be one of those seasons. Papa Metasa was out during the week. I think Basuma was also out. So it's one of those ones where they're just gonna have to make do with what they have this season, Spurs. I think it's gonna be one of those seasons. But I can still see them beating Leicester. We have lost like 5 or 6 or 7 games in a trot. I don't know how many. But yeah, they've just been in a worse, terrible form, man. They've just not been in a great vein of form, Leicester. So I think Tottenham win this football match. But I still think Leicester score. So I'll say 2-1 to Spurs. Then Villa versus West Ham. Man, I don't think I'll be watching that one as well. I think I did watch, like, they played in the FA Cup and Villa won 2-1. Yeah, Champions League is starting to take a toll on them. And with West Ham, Crescento Somerville might be coming back, as well as Jared Bowen. I think he had surgery just end of December on a broken foot or metatarsal or something like that. Now he's back in 3-4 weeks. We don't know what's the issue. Did he have a broken foot? Has it recovered in just over a fortnight or so? Or was it fake reports? We don't know. But yeah, that's good news for them. They bid like 50 something million for John Duran. So I think John Duran might start tomorrow. And actually, these stories, you never write them. I think John Duran can play tomorrow ahead of Watkins and score against a team that actually bid like, I think 30 something. It was rejected. Villa wanted 40, they didn't bid that. Now Villa wants 70, they bid like 57. It's just crazy, man. It's crazy, honestly. Predictions, I'm also going to say 1-1, sit on the fence. Fulham, Man United. Fulham have only 2 players injured, Kenny Tete, and I forgot who the other is, but it's not an important player. United, I mean, we saw ourselves against Rangers. We just like a bad football team, man. We're terrible. Honestly, man. Like, I don't want to even talk about Man United, man. I just want to be done with this. Like, honestly, I want to be talking about Man United for however long. So my prediction here, I'm gonna say, normally when you expect us to do well, we'll come back something there. So I'm just gonna say, one can say 4-0 Fulham, but I'll say 2-1 Fulham. I think we can get a goal, a penalty, something like that. We always come back ourselves to something. It's just who we are. I can see the page is refreshed on fantasy, so that's gonna be the last thing I do before I end the stream. So let's quickly see for next week's team. I don't think they've already changed. You know, it takes a bit of time, but for that, I will activate my triple captain so that I don't forget. Triple captain play. La. It's active, ladies and gentlemen. We are on. Don't forget, if you have a triple captain, take it from me, guys. Activate. Activate triple captain, guys. Activate. Activate it, guys. Like, what's the point? Mo Salah. You couldn't have wished to play it on a better person, guys. Mo Salah at home. It's active. There you go. My team next week, okay. Pickford obviously will come into the team. Then who else? My dilemma would be like Ahmad or Mateta. We are there again. We are there again. Another dilemma. For now, I'm just gonna leave it as is. My plans for next week, if I get the 0.1, I'm just gonna, because look, guys, I got Gordon at 7.2. He's made 0.2 for me. So I have 2 free transfers. I'm hoping to just use the one, but I will need Gordon to do well so that he can rise in price. And then he's 7.5. And who do I get for 7.5? I go get Luis Diaz. That will be my plan. You see, I'm 0.1 short. Anthony Gordon, please score a goal today so that you can make my life easy. I don't want to use 2 transfers. I want to save. Remember, 29, we're going to have a blank game week. The teams that make the final won't play in game week 29. They're going to blank. And the teams that play them, obviously, are going to blank as well, their opponents. And that's going to be moved to game 32 or 33. So remember that transfers will be crucial. We have the assistant manager chip as well. That is actually active as well now. Let's just give an example. Let's say we are going to Chelsea. If you go to the second page here, you'll see that they got Enzo Moresca. So, guys, remember, if you want to play your assistant manager chip, it will be playing active for 3 weeks, right? So if you activate it this week, game week 24, 1, 24, 25, 26. Between those 3 game weeks, you can't play any other chip. So you must be careful at the period you're going to use it. I'm planning to use it game week 37, 38, 36, 37, 38. Last 3 games of the week, of the season, we'll have a big double game week. I think it's game week 36 or 37. So basically, that's 4 games for me in the assistant manager chip. I'll be looking at the table, and I think I will be getting those victory and draw bonuses. I don't think I'll be going for a bigger manager, but that's a chat for another week, ladies and gentlemen. Not me, not keep you in the stream for as much as I've done. So quickly shout out to the team's top 5 as well on the top manager. That's our mini league, the one I look forward to the most. I see number 2 now. It's now LA Mzola, guns blazing from, like that. Game week 23 team, Dubravka, good pick there. Trent Munoz Robinson, okay. Benching Mbumo, not a great decision, guys. You don't bench penalty takers. If this is my team, the player I bench here is Rogers, guys, because these other guys are penalty takers, like Palmer, Salah. You triple captain Salah a week before the big double game week. Come on, guys. Come on. But remember the last time I criticized Sohail Mohammed's team, it got like 90 points. So then you got Cabello Kumalo here, Sanchez, Gabriel, Kekesh, Hall. No, this is not a triple captain, right? It's not. It's just that the captain is somehow looking like it's triple captain. Yeah, I don't know why. It should not be this white. So I don't think triple captain is active. Then Elanga, Mbumo, Salah, Savinho. Jeez. Captain Spama against Sete. Jeez. Wow. That's a big call. Leaving it Salah. Then the other one, let's see. Saliba at least is in the team. Mazraoui, it might not be there. Faiz or Kohli will come in. Pedro Porro, I don't think plays because he played in Champions in the Europa League, and they don't have what's his name? I completely lost my train of thought, guys. Completely lost my train of thought. Let's just leave it. Yeah, completely lost my train of thought. I'm actually thinking about something now. Okay, last team I can go through is here we go. Again, Steve Riemer, Verbruggen, Robinson, Hall, Mitchell, Ahmad, Palmer, Salah, Gordon, Wood, Isak Jackson. That's a brilliant team. Also benching Mbumo. I don't think I'll bench Mbumo. You can bench Ahmad, but let's see, guys. So yeah, that's it for the team, guys. That's it for my stream. Sorry for joining late. I was out the shops. It's that time of the month where it gets so packed. So yeah, it is what it is. Hope you enjoy your weekend, whatever that's left of it. So yeah, stay safe. Until next time, peace.